Part 1. Say yes before you're ready. Welcome to the Self Concept Bestie podcast. I'm your host, Laura. By the time you're listening to this, I will be home. But as I'm recording this, I'm about to leave for an adventure with absolutely no plan. And if I'm being totally honest with you, I'm nervous. So I am about to pack up the car and head around some areas in Scotland. See some beautiful beaches, some nice views, grab some sunsets, some sunrises, get my feet in some walks. And honestly, I feel really uneasy about it because I'm stepping into this unknown. This is something that is way out of my comfort zone. I have never done anything like this. I am a, 5-star hotel girly. I am not a wild camping, sleeping in the car, no plan. But something has been telling me this is what I want to do. I've been saying it for ages. I want to explore Scotland more. I want to just get in the car and go. And it's definitely easy to say that, to know that we want to do that. But when the reality of it happening, I just don't feel prepared. Like, what do you take? What don't you take? What happens when you need the toilet? All of these things are going through my head. But how often do we sit here and we'll wait until we feel ready to do something? Do you know, whatever it is. Oh, right, okay, we'll do it when this happens. So, I could be like, oh, well, I'll do it once I've got the money to hire a camper van. Right, I'll do it once I'm more organised with X, Y, and Z. I'll do it once I've got a bigger car. There could be so many excuses to whatever it is. But what happens if we just go? With no expectation, no plan, just me in a car and an airbed in the back. What's going to happen? And I've wondered why I felt a wee bit off today. Like, my nervous system's been a bit shaky, and I was like, why is this? But it's because I'm nervous, because I'm setting out into the unknown. There is not a plan. I actually do not have one single plan. There's a couple of beaches I'd like to see, but there is no plan. I don't know if there's campsites near it. I don't know if you're going to be able to stay there overnight. I don't know. I do not know. That is the best of it all. And part of me doesn't even want to start planning because I don't want to start talking myself out of it. Because one thing I've learned is whenever you're faced with some sort of problem or something that you're needing to handle, in that moment, we always find a solution. But if I started looking for, right, is there a campsite near where I want to go? Is there a car park I can park in overnight? If problems started coming up before I even went, there's a good chance I actually possibly would talk myself out of going. Because I'd feel uncertain. Like, what adventures have you talked yourself out of? Because you've maybe felt uncertain because there's been too many obstacles. But actually, if we just go and we handle the obstacles there and then in that moment, what does that look like? Sorry, feel like my throat's tickly. 2 seconds. Oh, excuse me. So what happens when we just move anyway? Even in the unknown. Is what I've kind of been doing with my life recently, is having that faith in that unknown, and that whatever comes up, we handle it. And I suppose this is what this trip is. I've not got my kids for a week. I'm like, why not? I want to get out in nature and just, do you know that way where you just want to like feel alive? I mean, you have no plans. Like, I just keep asking myself, why not? Why not? And for once, actually, the fear is not that loud. It's not that my brain's ever talking me out of it. I'm just embracing that unknown. And I just know that if there is any issues that come up, I will just handle it there and then. Because I don't know what it is, but there's just been something in it. It's like, Laura, just go. Just get your stuff and let's just go. It's almost like I feel agitated by not going. It's like there's something like pushing me to go. And I feel like now I always trust the nudges. People might call it intuition, might call it signs for the universe, they might call it coincidence. When whatever it is that you call it, whatever it is that you believe in, I feel more agitated by not following this voice telling me to go than I do letting the fear win. And that's massive for me. And I think a lot of you will be able to relate that we allow that fear to dictate our life and we will sit in the, oh, well, I never went, okay, because we let the fear win. But what happens when we don't? And I can't wait to come back to you with a part 2 and tell you everything that happened. And this is what I'm really excited that when you're listening to this, actually I've already been home and I've already experienced it. And I'll be able to listen back and be like, oh, Laura, who knows what way it's going to go. Because sometimes the difference for me when I'm listening to this voice, fear's loud. Fear is loud saying, like, abort, this is unsafe. This is like a quiet nudge that is, and I mean constantly there, just saying, just go. Just go. What happens if we have the best time? What happens if we have the time of our life? And yes, I am feeling nervous. Yes, it is a bit scary because it's totally out of what, quote unquote, would be safe for my brain. It's totally unfamiliar. But what does that do for me if I stay in that safety and I listen to the fear and I don't go? Am I going to sit there with regret? I know myself, I would just be regretting it. I would get to like Tuesday, Wednesday and be like, why didn't I go? Why didn't I just go? So I'm listening to this intuition and just saying, you know what, let's just go. Even when the fear's there, even when we feel a bit nervous, let's just go. Because it comes back to something that I've been talking about for a while. And it's all about trusting yourself. So what does that actually look like? It's about listening to that voice and trusting yourself to move anyway. Trusting yourself that you can handle whatever's going to come up. Trusting yourself that it doesn't matter if my hair's going to be a mess, or trusting myself that I will handle whatever it is. But most importantly, it's trusting that voice that I'm not going to live with any regret anymore. That I can go away and take the experiences fully, embrace the experiences and see what lessons are going to come up. What am I going to learn? What am I going to learn about myself? What am I going to see? What am I going to love? What am I going to hate? And it's all in the experience. And just because there may come up, there could be some not great parts that I don't necessarily enjoy. Is that going to mean that it's a bad experience? No, because I'll just have learned more about me. So I'm taking this as more of a little experiment, like a little growth experiment to see how far I've came, to see what I can embrace, what I enjoy embracing. What am I going to experience that I've never experienced before, that I'm like, oh my God, that was something I would never have done, but I want to do it again. Because until we start actually taking ourselves out of our comfort zone and start experiencing these smaller wins, listening to that voice, we'll never actually fully know what we're capable of. Because if we keep ourselves in this tiny little box, we know our capacity is only as big as this box. But what happens when we open the box wide? What happens when we ruin every corner of that box and we're faced with the big open road and the unknown of what is going to happen next. So yeah, I'm going on a journey, on a little experiment of growth. And if any follow me on social media, you will be able to see some things that I'll, be posting, some things along the way. But in the part 2, I'll very much go in deep about the experience, and reflect really on what I've learned, what happened. Was there any chaos? What was the best thing that happened? So right now I've got a double air bed sitting in the back of my car that, by the way, I can't even fully inflate, but it's fine because it kind of sits up, so it's almost like I don't need to take a pillow. I've got a big bit underneath where the wheel would normally be, so I've got water, I've got throwaway barbecue in there, and I've even went and I've got shampoo and conditioner in a little small tubs, but who knows if I'm even going to be able to wash my hair. Who knows? But do you know what? I'm going to take it anyway. I'll go and grab some food at a shop on the way somewhere. And yeah, it's so alien to me. I am normally, the really organised planner, let's go on a beautiful, sunny, all-inclusive holiday. Camping's not really my thing. Until now. Until I've decided, let's just see. Let's just, you know what? It could be the best thing that we'll ever do. And it's actually something I want to start doing with my kids anyway. So I feel like if I go and do this, and I can see what it's about, I can see what the costs are involved and what are good places to go, I will then be able to take them and experience it with them. And I'll feel obviously a lot calmer because I will then know, okay, right, this is what I need, this is what I don't need. And I'm sitting here, I've got power banks charging, and I've got my community call. So in my community, we've got a call every Wednesday night, and I'm going to have my iPad charged. And do you know what? We are still going on that community call. And I will be somewhere in Scotland doing it. And that way where I'm really, really excited about it, that I've got that opportunity that I can just work from anywhere, that I can pick that iPad up and go. As long as it's charged, I'm sorted. And who knows what little towns I'm going to come across, but I'm trusting in myself to keep on moving anyway. I'm trusting in myself to go and embrace it all. No matter what it looks like. And my little dog's coming with me as well. I think I'm feeling a bit nervous about that. Like, will he be okay in the car? Will he feel okay? But he's going to have loads of room. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say now. You know what? I think we're just going to end it there. Because next week's episode is going to be either me telling you it was one of the best decisions that I made, or me telling you what I learned from stepping outside my comfort zone. Either way, there is going to be one big, beautiful lesson in there. I can't wait for you to tune in next week. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, today has already been an amazing day.